Hey everybody, HMV here. Playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we are launching the Duna 2. And we are using the gravity turn mod. Tossed over on the side of the screen so as to keep it out of the way. Daniel Schmid, who has the benefit of 2 stars, has taken over as commander of this mission. And the new recruits, Francois and Michael Christensen. I should really look at you guys' names before I say them out loud, but I'm pretty sure it's Michael Christensen. You two are heading up to actually do the mission. Daniel Schmid is there as in an advisory role only. For multiple reasons. One, because we need 3 engineers on the ship. So I figured, hey, if we need 3 engineers, we might as well bring them. This ship is going to do this contract, which is crazy. And the reason it's under this shell isn't for aerodynamics. It's because Kerbal Space Center was embarrassed at what the ship looked like. Oh, let's watch separation here. Oh, those little slow ones are scary, but it's fine. But anyway, yeah, you'll see it in a minute, but they didn't want anybody on the ground seeing it and wondering what their tax dollars were going to. We need to land on Duna. It needs to have an antenna, docking port, and can generate power. Obviously, it can do all those things. It supports at least 6 Kerbals. It does. It has 3 engineers on it. It does. 6,000 units of liquid fuel, which is a lot, by the way. I did not resort to ISRU. It's bringing the fuel with it. 1,500 units of monopropellant that I'm going to dump on the surface the moment we land. It must be mounted on wheels, which it is. And we must maintain stability for 10 seconds, which... if we can get this thing on the ground, I'm sure we can maintain stability for 10 seconds. And, however, until we get the big reveal, there's not much else to watch, so I will meet you up there. Okay, we are mere seconds away from this. I'm going to institute a roll program of 90 degrees. I don't think it's going to affect whether or not these crash into the ship, but just in case they do, I did hit F5 to do a quick save, and you'll never see this if that happens. But I want this thing to be in perfect position when it comes time to undock it. And that's in about 15-20 seconds. But I wanted to mention that I'm going up to 150 kilometer orbit for a very specific reason. The space station is up at 150 kilometer orbit, and you'll notice that I don't have the Duna window up here anymore. I use that station to do the trick where you draw a maneuver node out just to escape, and then draw another one on the trajectory that is very close to Kerbin's trajectory. Oh, here we go. Goodbye, and big reveal. There she is in all her uglytude. Yeah, you'll see what the reason is for each part of this when we get to Duna, but yeah. I'm not going to apologize. Maybe I'll apologize a little bit. I'm very sorry how ugly this thing is, but it gets the job done. Anyway, the station, now that we've seen this horrible ship, let's get it off the screen. The station, if I were to set it as a target, which is right here, you'll see he has a maneuver node here that ejects off this way. All we have to do is get up into an orbit that's similar to the station, and then make a maneuver node that matches it, and that should encounter Duna. Because if we look out here at Duna, boom, we have an encounter over there with this. This is actually very close to the actual window that we had set up. It's about 10 days later, but you know what? 10 days is 10 days. Who cares? And one nice thing about doing this roll here is that, and launching in the morning, is that throughout this entire thing, our solar panels are going to be in the sun. And I like that. Also, these things are kind of blocking these solar panels. I don't know, are they completely blocked? No, they're not completely blocked. They've got 34% sun exposure, 35% sun exposure. So it looks like they're not being blocked at all, which is fine by me. Okay, amusingly, our apoapsis is very close to the actual place to burn. And I think we're actually going to try it here. We're going to try to just go we're actually technically in orbit right now. So if we switch to our apoapsis, if we snap this to our apoapsis, look at this maneuver node here. Can we look at this maneuver node here? No, we can't actually see. Oh, there we go. 1042. So if we set this up and we make it 1042, We're going to need more than that. And it's not exactly at that spot either, but that's a good first order approximation here. We just add a couple more, maybe 10 more. Remove my target now. So actually, I guess I didn't need to do that. Set Duna as a target. And as always, we don't actually get an encounter. What if we move time forward slightly? There's our encounter. Yeah, I mean that right there is once we fix the ascending node, I'm sure that'll do it. Okie doke. It's 109 meter per second burn. Let's aim at the maneuver node. Oh my, I cannot tell you how I have wanted to be able to aim at a maneuver node. And yeah, this whole thing, in addition to being the center of the launch stage, it's actually the transfer stage, and it's the slowdown at Duna stage. It's not going to have very much meters per second left in it after this burn, which is, what did I say, 1068. Yeah, it's only going to have a couple hundred left, but then that's why we have this fuel tank down here. If we do have to toss this around Duna, we have this tank to do it. And also, we're going to do a little bit of aero braking at Duna. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. Okay, and our solar panels are no longer in the sun. However, that's not a big deal considering we're going to be burning this engine in a minute. Okay, we're getting closer here, and I'm watching the orbit, not the maneuver. I'm just going to go up a little bit at a time until we see an encounter with Duna. There we go. Now, at our descending node, we're going to burn up just a little bit to fix that. And then we're also going to fix whatever is wrong here. Sometimes I love this game, sometimes I hate it. This is a separation of 93, which is pretty good, but not an actual encounter. So I'm actually going to tweak it here instead. I'm going to do this burn, but I'm going to tweak it here to get even closer. 90. See, 90 and then 234. Then 85, 79, 71, and then an encounter. So there you go. We'll do something like that. We'll figure it out as time comes. We don't care about the Kerbin Station 1 ship anymore. So let's go ahead and get out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. Let's get our solar panels in the sun. Well, let's get our ship in the sun. Then let's get our solar panels in the sun. Let's actually aim at the maneuver node here. It looks like we're going to have to rotate this guy around. He's pretty spry for how big he is. And at our node here, we're going to do this burn as accurately as we can. Okay, that's as good as I can expect to get. And the next thing to happen will be a Moho 2 thing, so let's go ahead and jump to him. Take care of his mid-course correction. Actually, if I remember correctly, this is not a mid-course correction. It is a actually an encounter burn. Of course, I had a 50-50 chance of which way to go, and I chose wrong. Yeah, that arrow really needs to be present, even if the maneuver node is on your side of the maneuver node marker. When it's behind the orbit thing or the heading thing, that arrow should still be there. I'm going to start this burn a little bit early because I'm going to tweak it. Plus, way out here, it doesn't matter that much anyway. But I'll get down to about 5 meters per second or so. I have no idea what the game is telling me. Do I really have 2 maneuver nodes? Oh, this is the one at Moho to slow down. Okay. So I'm just going to delete both of these. Or maybe this one isn't at Moho to slow down. It says it's 2730. Yeah, let's delete this one too. There we go. And this one. Jeez. Just going to bring these two things together here. There we go. Focus on Moho. Now, if I remember correctly, I wanted my periapsis to be close to the equator. Which it's not. Actually, it's not that bad. There's the equator. We've already determined we're not getting home, so I think I'm going to put a maneuver here to bring this in. 171. What do we have total here? Because we still do need to land. It's actually probably good to know this number, because we are going to have to use the main ship. 3,000. Jeez. That'll still leave us with a grand, so we'll be able to do that. So we'll still be able to land, barely. So we're going to get this guy into a very elliptical orbit, something along those lines. Okay, back to Duna 2. And the teensiest of tiniest burns, which I'm going to start early here, for no reason other than I can. The ship is doing a terrible job of aiming at the maneuver node, as is very frequent. We had an encounter for a second. Need to do it, but I'm going to add another maneuver. There we go. And that's actually, that looks like it might be a good one here. Yep, a collision is what I consider good right now. 47 meters per second. Yeah, we're going to be left with like 100 meters per second left in the other ship, and we're basically going to use that just to slow down a tiny little bit as we come in through the atmosphere in our braking turn. That's 44 days away. Let's go ahead and do it. This one I can hit the Z key for a second. It is getting really wobbly. Why are you so wobbly? I think it's because all the fuel is like way crazy over here. We're a lot lighter for our thrust, and our thrust to weight is probably a lot higher too. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably what it is, and we're obviously not very well centered. Don't want an Ike encounter today. Okay, I want to get my periapsis somewhere in the vicinity of, we'll say 20. I think 20 would be fine. 14's too low, but I'm not going to bother fixing that right now. We will fix that sphere of influence boundary because it's far, far easier to fix it there. There we go. 61 is too much. Huh. Why am I not using precise node? I must be stupid. It is 1 day before our Moho thing. That's crazy. How far away is this? This is 100 days. So we're doing the Moho thing before we do this. That's crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy into the sphere of influence. Then I'm going to end the episode. And then next episode we'll do Moho. And then I don't know what we're going to do. We might actually get those guys into orbit of Moho. And then see if we're going to do the Moho one as one big mission, or jump over and do at least get this guy into orbit before we do that. If I tried to time these things to happen at the same time, there's no way it would happen. We don't really need to wait for the maneuver node. Let's actually aim at our radial out, kill the maneuver node, and I am going to thrust limit this guy down. There we go. 18 won't kill us, but I'm still going to go up a little over 20. There we go. Because we are going to be burning the engine to get rid of this final 55 meters per second here. So if I add a maneuver here, that's atmospheric entry, and Moho is first. Whew. You know what? I'm actually going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed watching this. When we come back, I'm going to be doing both the Moho and the Duna orbital insertions, and I might land somebody somewhere. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. I'm HMV and I will, as always, talk at you later.